welcome to fastitschef.com. Today I'm going to make a South German Zwetschgendatschi or plum cake. It's not a layered cake, it's just a yeast dough in the form of a pie. Then you put plums on top. But in its simplicity, it's extremely delicious and flavorful. I fell in love with that back in the 60s when I first visited my brother and sister-in-law. They lived where they lived in Germany. And we went to a Dach cafe, it was called Dach cafe, and I ordered this plum cake. And it was love from the first bite. So delicious. Very simple. It's just a yeast dough, and then on top of it they have plums and some other wonderful flavors on top of that. In its simplicity, it's extremely delicious. And I fell in love with it. So I used to go back and forth to Germany in order to, of course, visit my brother, I must admit, but most of the time for the sake of that plum cake. And I would buy a lot of it. And I asked my sister-in-law, why don't you send me a good recipe? And she sent me one, and I guess it is from her grandmother. And I worked with it, and it's so simple and yet so delicious. So let's get started and see how easy it is to make this Zwetschgendatschi or plum cake. Well, here you can see what is needed. Now, usually it's you see the list of ingredients below this video, but for all the tips and tricks, you probably need to visit my blog. Start by washing and taking out the kernels from the plums, and make sure that they sit together, or even if you want to half it, it's okay. It's a matter of taste. Then you need to prepare the topping that you can see here, and of course you will garnish it with some confectioner sugar. But to start with, you have a mold that is 23 centimeters in diameter, and you oil it and put some parchment paper and even oil on top of that. Pour the flour into a mixing bowl, add the sugar and also the yeast. Mix it and let it rest for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, you add the milk that has to have your body temperature at least, and mix it for 1 or 2 minutes. And then you add the butter and also the eggs and run it for 5 minutes. Then add the salt and continue running for additional 2 minutes. Put the dough in an oiled bowl and make sure that the dough is covered with oil. Then you let it rest for 45 minutes in a warm place. After 45 minutes, flour your baking area, and you see that it has doubled in size. Then you put the dough on top of that and flour as needed and flatten it out with your hands. Then you just fold it a couple of times and make sure to make it like a ball. Then you roll it out so that it will fit your mold. And then you just simply put it in the mold. And you see that I have even oiled on top of the parchment paper. So put the dough in there, flatten it out, and then you simply put all the plums that sit together, or if it's halves, and you put as many as possible, either with the inside down or the inside up. That's a matter of taste. Then you put the topping on top, and then you cover it and let it rest for 30 minutes. Meanwhile, you heat your oven to 392 Fahrenheit or a convection oven 347, and it has to be baked for 20 to 25 minutes. And out comes the most wonderful cake. You don't need to serve any cream or anything like that with it. It's so delicious, as we say in Iran, nush jan, or enjoy.